This is for the Scoutcrafter challenge of making a birdhouse. I'm going to use these 3 parts. I did have this 12-inch diameter, 3-foot long aluminum billet. And I was going to turn it on my lathe and make it out of that. But then I had to use that piece for something else. So it's going to be a plastic Folgers can, a piece of wood, and a shelf bracket. Not sure how birds feel about caffeine. This is actually decaf, but I'm not sure how birds feel about decaf either. So I'm just going to wipe out some of the little bit of coffee that's left over. Hopefully the smell doesn't deter them too bad. I don't know, you may get a hipster bird who likes espresso or something. Okay, I looked online and they said a birdhouse hole should be 1 inch to 1.5 inches. This is 1 inch. I'm going to do it for smaller birds. This thing's got a handle, so I guess I'm going to do it where it's convenient. Hopefully a big bird can't stand on that little lip and then eat all the babies. I don't know. A little sketchy. There's a hole. And this is the Harbor Freight hole saw kit. It was cheap. Works great. I just use it for wood. I have a different kit if I want to do a lot of metal. So it'd probably work on metal too, but it'd just wear out then. So I need to go from the shelf bracket to the Folgers can. And that's not that easy. So I need some intermediate thing. And, you know, you could make some out of titanium in your vacuum forger. Or you could just grab a little piece of wood. And you could use these 1/2-inch sheetrock screws. They're so cute. Oh, would you? Look at you, cute little screw. Okay, let's test how it does in the rain. I'm sure it's dry as a whistle. Vent holes. That way air can get in. You know, and if I happen to put a vent hole in right where the water is going to pool, you can sue me. After Iron Man left and I joined the Avengers, I made a solemn vow to never use more than 2 pieces of wood in a project. But if you gotta save the world, you gotta break a vow. Okay, let's try this again. Maybe. I think it works really good, except for these vent holes that I added, and they let in water. Ironic, really. If it's stuck and you want it loose, WD-40. If it's loose and you want it stuck, duct tape. Good to go. So some bird has been trying to build a nest right there, and I've been taking the stuff out of there and basically just throwing it on the ground. Here's a bunch of it that just fell. I don't want that bird to build a nest there, because that'll be right where I'm working on this table. This is my favorite table. So I'm going to take that stuff and make a starter home for it. You know, these are the exact right size twigs for a bird. I think a junco, which that's not an insult, that's just a type of bird. There it is, attached to a cherry tree. Pretty sweet. I'll show you my other birdhouse. So the birds always build up in those rafters that I was showing you earlier. So I took down one of the ones from last year. I put it on a culvert, put a piece of metal over it, and hopefully they'll live here instead. Then I can watch them, but they won't be like flying around my head and abandoning their babies. So that'll be sweet. Reminds me of a story. My dad had bird houses, several of them, and he put them maybe 15 feet up on a tree, basically as high as he could go with a ladder, and he never got any birds to live in them. And then he read somewhere you put the birdhouse at 6 feet. I don't know why birds like it low, but they do. So he took them all off up high and put them all down low, and then boom, he had a bunch of starlings, which, who knows, they're probably invasive, but they were cool, and they ate a lot of bugs.